I copied him, whichever one you want to call me. I've had a few strokes, so you might want to put closed captions on for me. It'll be easier for you to see what I say, probably. But anyway, let me go and get logged in here for people so I can be chatting with you as you come in. There I am. Alright, there's my arm. There's the button for Top Chef. I'm an old dog, takes me a little time to get up there, but here we go. Anyway, so when I left off last time, we were sitting with 11 wheat pennies. So we need to find at least 3 here to get my average. I see a lot of old copper. That's a 60p. Don't see a lot of those. So let's start pulling this off. That's the right 82D to look for. See this? See that? That's the right 82D right there that you want. That you want to weigh 3.1 grams. That's the big money one. That's the one you're looking for right there, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh it. See what we got. I can tell right away it's 2.5 grams. Yeah, 2.51. But it was in decent shape, and some people keep these mint marks on the 80s. 82 is not a year I save. 2000D I look at, but I just wanted to go ahead and show that real quick while you had up on the board there. That's 60p, 62. Get to some of this pulled out here. A lot of cornfield copper here. That's what I call it, cornfield copper. Because I'm in the great state of Iowa. I'm a Hawkeyes fan, true and true. I are not a farmer. I may be an idiot out wandering around at times. Now, see, that's a street corner, so I don't look at stuff like that. I pull it out. That's too far gone, too far gone. So I pull out the crappy coins first, not the crappy coins, the crappy coins. Well, I get them out of the way so I can look for the owl gold, that cornfield gold that you find. You betcha. You betcha. Boy, I got a lot of turds here. A lot of turds here. Locally, we got a dragration problem with these young guys who got the soup up engines for the little imports. My nephew's a cop, and it's been a real issue here lately. Alright, that's enough junk for me. Let's get some of this copper out of the way. 72, 78, 67. That's right, 82 to get weighed. Put it over there. 2020, no good. 2020, other 2020. Let's get these stacked up on my copper. Alright, no, 12D we don't need to look at. 2020 we will look at. 94D don't need to look at. 2018 you want to look at. 2020D I don't look at. 2006 I look at. 17D no. 22 I'll look at. That's 85. It's too many fingerprints. That looks BU. 2008 is always got a nice strike on 2008's. Now there's nice AU 76D. I'm gonna pull that out and then look and see if it's got a repunch mark or not when I get to it. But that'll be after church. It'll be actually won't be on Sunday. I don't do anything on Sunday but go to church. I don't work on the Lord's Day. I've never done that other than when I used to clean the church. I used to work sometimes on Sunday, but it was different. I was working for God then. I'm sure He had no problem with me working, cleaning the church for Him. He would have told me if He did. Anyway, that's what the last thing I did before I had my strokes, and even after I had my strokes, I worked for the church. I was a custodian for First Baptist Church in Bettendorf. They're all my friends that I follow. They're a great church. If you want to watch, they stream live at 10:15 every Sunday. 60D. A lot of times you'll see me in church. Right, you'll see me right in the front row. I'm kind of hard to miss. I'm a pretty good sized guy. I'm easy to get around. I always used to say I'm easy to get next to, but I'm hard to get around. But that's back when I used to weigh 455 pounds. But I'm a little skinnier than that now. I'm fluctuating around 235. I do want to get down to 200 again. I think it's still realistic goal for me. It looks like 59D. Those old 59Ds fool me all the time. There's another one, 59D, 98D. But anywho, I'm trying to get healthier than I was, and it takes time. And guys, it's all up to God. You know what you're gonna get done, and hours to your days. You glorify Him. I try to every day in every way I can. I give Him all credit and all glory to God, and I mean that. 82 P's or 82 D's are the wrong ones I'm setting aside here. 13D, 2020D. A lot of copper, man. 70. 81 again. 2000D. 82D, wrong one. 76D is pretty beat up. 63P. 85D is too far gone. 90P. 17P, no thanks. 15D. 15P, that's a better one. 13, no. 20D. 99D, 17, 86D, 73P. Sorry, I'm a little slow tonight, guys. Had family in from out of town all week, and they've had some every day and every lunch. And boy, that's a nice 89D. That's a really good one. You find the repunch mark on that one. That's a money coin. Anyway, but they've been wanting to go here, there, and everywhere to eat, because we got some famous places that are really good to eat here local, and it's the only place you can get is here local, and they're all from here, and they're all parts of the world now, Arizona and Texas and down in Tennessee and out in Oregon, and they all are in town right now. Las Vegas as well. I got a Las Vegas police officer is one of them, and her mom. That's my my third and fourth cousins. And anyway, but we're all about family in my family. So they tell me it's a good thing. I think it is. I tried that's a nice 74D. It looks like a repunchment mark. I'll look at it later. 97D, looking for that good old double ear. 22D. Anybody come in? Hey, Cody, welcome back. Good to see you, buddy. Let me get rid of these coins here so I can tag you. Good to see you, buddy. How's your day going? I'm in Iowa, Claudia. I'm right on the Mississippi River, right in the nose of Iowa. It's called Davenport, Iowa. They call us the Quad Cities. Very famous places, halfway between Chicago and Des Moines. But get a lot of copper in this area for some reason. You know, I get my fair share of estimate marks, and now see here's a wheat penny that's been cleaned, unfortunately, but it's a good shape. But it has been cleaned. We got a 5060. You can see where somebody's cleaned it, but we'll still take it. It's got quite a bit of wear. That's number 12 for wheat pennies. Let's see what we got here. What about you? Where you from? Yeah, a lot of copper in this box. 72 AD. I got plenty of that. Don't need no more. 17. Dirty. That's a 90. Alright, let's get my copper in the line here. Doggone it. Avalanche. Have a copper lance. Put that zinc in front of it. There. Got my safety in that pouch here. I haven't raked any discards into it. I haven't been doing that yet. I've been stacking up. I hunt different ways. Sometimes just rake it right off with the table when I see it's no good, just like that, and throw it away. It goes a little bit faster. I should be moving a little faster. Like I said, I've been dealing with family that come in from everywhere: Arizona, Oregon, Vegas, and Tennessee, quite a few places. We got stretched out far and wide, but doesn't mean we don't. Oh, you're in Oregon too? Are you a trout fisherman? You like fishing for trout at all? I used to do it quite a bit in northern Iowa here, but I'm a fishing pro for crappie, but I like to fish for trout, you know, and walleye too. But yeah, I love Oregon. It's so beautiful out there. It really is. If I had a choice to live out west, it'd be either in Northern California, up around Eureka in the Red Forest, or it'd be in Oregon. I don't know how I go all the way to Washington State, but I got friends there too. There's a 2025. You don't see many of those yet. 20D 95 with the old Louis on it. You like fishing? That's great, man. I tell you, I collect fishing lures too, and I'm gonna be selling a bunch of them off, you know. So you might want to check that out. But I'll just go ahead and show you a couple cool ones real quick that I like to show off. But these are ones that I use that I like to use for all kinds of species. Well, this is what's called a bomber mullet, but you see how I call it a disco shad, but it's a big bait. And I tell you what, the vibration and the old lead knocker and that's really a fish catcher. But anyway, those patterns right there really work good. Let me get it out of my hand. But I have somewhere around 500 crankbaits that I'm gonna sell off. So you might want to subscribe and get in line and let me know what you're looking for, and I'll see if I can't make a deal with you. I will eventually have a square trade site set up with all my inventory on it. But I have been fishing on the pro circuit since 1983. I quit in 2007 because of financial problems I got downsized out of my career, and so then I had to let my do uh, plus my landlord business suffered. I couldn't make my all my mortgage payments, so I had to leave pro fishing because I couldn't afford to compete anymore. But that's all behind me now. But anyway, I got all the gear I've been collecting since I was a young kid. My great, excuse me, my great. Look at the tone on that sucker, man. That's really toned up. But anyway, my great uncle had a fishing resort in Minnesota, and that's a nice 70D. And I would go up there every summer, and I'd go fishing. I'd go trolling for walleye and trolling for green perch. They call it strap perch or yellow perch. It goes by all those names. But we go up there and hunt, hunt down the muskie, and we hunt down the big northerns. So I grew up really having an education of how to fish. I had two fishing pros that were on our paper route. One was actually a lure maker, and the other guy was just a computer. But anyway, so I paid attention to all the people, and what lures were sold out in the bait shop when we come in, and my dad would be mad. Oh, they're out of them, because you know Lake Ottertail, and it was right between Lake Ottertail and the Ottertail River. It was his resort, and it was a busy place. And oh man, we catch 3 pound striped perch, and we catch 4 pound bluegill or 4 pound bullheads. We catch 2 pound crappie, 2 pound bluegills. Is insane. And the biggest catch of the day would always be put up in a freezer. But anyway, so I like to talk about fishing. I like to talk about God, and I hunt pennies because that's about all I can do right now. Because, well, like I said, I had 4 strokes, so that's why I recommend people to use the closed captions because I stutter a lot, and I'm trying to get better, but I do know my pennies. I'm currently somewhere in between my second and third million pennies searched. So I I know a few things. I don't know everything, but I got some great reference books, and I don't mind sharing my knowledge with people. So please subscribe, like, and hit the comment button. If you would, I'd appreciate that too. Anybody else that comes in. I do plan to be doing giveaways as I grow and get more used to how this works on YouTube as far as with the mechanics. I'm an old dog trying to learn new tricks, so I don't bark much, and I don't bark much, but I'm a dog on the porch. Like I say, so that right there is a 97D. You're looking for the double ear. 92D, you're looking for a closed AM. 14P, you're looking for a double die obverse. 12P, there's nothing. 81P, there's nothing. 16D, there's obverse double die. There's 74D, though you're looking for the repunchment marking of double die. That's 94D, nothing. 12, that's nothing. Got some real street coins here. That's the 17Ps. Now on the back of a 17P, there is a really big strike through on. It's hard to find. I have not found it. It's not one I look for, but it is out there. I've seen them. It is a big strike through. There's a 2001. There's a double dive obverse on that. There's a 13. That's nothing. 72Ds. Always a great coin to check. Lots of money being made on 72s. There's 70D or S, I couldn't tell. I do check all my 70S's for repunch marks and double dies. I pretty much check anything that's copper for double dies. 88D. I know the Zinkins too, but the thing is with the Zinkins, they're going to deteriorate, the longer you hold on to them. So the more they've been handled, the less they're worth. But there still is a lot of money in zinc that's to be made, especially if you get them in really good shape. So I should clarify in case somebody doesn't know what I mean when I say zinc. A zinc is anything that's made after 82. It's made of zinc and more zinc than copper. And it only weighs 2.5 grams. Okay, there's 95D. You want to look for double dive obverse. Anyway, they changed it in 82. They changed the plant sheet from 90% copper to only having a plate copper on it to save money. So currently in copper, your 82 and earlier pennies are all weigh 3.1 grams for the most part. Some are a little heavier than that, but not very many. But anyway, they're worth 2.8 cents a piece. If you can melt them down, now that's not figuring the cost for the gas for melting them down either. So you got to consider that. And I don't know the dross that you pull off if you can separate out the zinc or not. I've never done it before, but I know that Rob Fon's treasurer, he says every single copper penny he gets because he knows that copper price is going to go up, and it's way up. It's going to continue to climb too. Same thing with silver. I still say that silver's going to hit $50 by the end of the month. It's going to spike again. It'll probably go down around Christmas time, and then it will spike after the first of the year. There's another box of 10 more. But that's my prediction. I called for $50 silver last February, where we didn't quite get it to it. I know it's been on a drop. I haven't checked it today. Like I said, I got fan dabbling in town. No, I love all my family and friends. I truly do. I pray for them every day, and I talk to quite a few people in the course of a 24-hour period pretty frequently. But anyway, it's great to have closeness in the family, and I'm sorry if you don't have that. I know a lot of people struggle with family on holidays and get-togethers and stuff like that, and then I sympathize with you. I had a real problem with my dad when he was alive, and he really didn't care for me, and it hurt me a lot, and I didn't project my pain too much, but it made get-togethers not as enjoyable as they could or had been before, but that's just life, and you try to make your amends, and if not appreciated or if they're rejected, all you can do is try, Be ready to be met when you're wrong, and there's a pretty nice 72. Is that a D or a S? I'll check real quick. But make amends when you're wrong, that's a D. So let's see if we got a double I. It looks like it. There's double on the top of the T, hooks in the S, the leg of the R, right there in the bottom of the D, top and the leg on the N, on top of the I. So I don't know which number it is, but it's definitely a double die. You can see the split and the notching on the Y there. So I'll throw that in my double die container. I have a few of those to go through and identify one day and eventually sell off, but that was nice to find that one. I like to find when they're in better shape, The better shape they are, the more they're worth, obviously. I mean, I'm not trying to be stupid, but a lot of people don't realize that even ones that That, you know, some of them that are rated down, you know, E5, extra fine 40 or something, they're still worth $1 or two. But you know, you get much lower than that, you're not gonna get any money from them. So that's one of the reasons you see me when I get down to a point where the coins is, you know, under a MS40. I don't even really look at it. See, what I'm pulling off right now. I can see all the damage on it as I'm pulling up. And these are obviously not wheat pennies, so that's 88. I do check when they have a little shine to it. I do make sure that I don't have air. But it always seems like something right at the very end that surprised me. You never know. But it doesn't look like here. 98. I'm glad you do, buddy. I appreciate it, Kobe. I'll subscribe to you back. I'll do that when I get a chance. But yeah, I've been blessed, and I find some really weird stuff here. You know, and I like that. I like to show people weird stuff because, you know, it's nice to share your treasures when you find them. You know. Well, anyway, so unfortunately, we didn't find any more. So that's the right side. 82. I got away. We ended up with 4 Canadians for the hunt. This is the first box, and this is the end of it. So the first Canadian is 89, and then we got a street coin that's a 65 parking lot coin. Then this 81 is halfway decent, not bad year. And then 84 is a little bit better of a year. You don't get as many 84s. So that's your 4 Canadians right there. And then so for the wheat pennies, our golden goose of the day is a 1916. So there is a double die on the 16, if I remember right. There's not enough details here for me to tell, you know, because of the wear and the damage. It doesn't look to be a double die, but doesn't mean it's not. Somebody that's better at it might know better. But anyway, it's still a 16. You can't get mad at that. So the next youngest one we got, we got a 48S, and then we got a 48P, and coming on down here is a 57D, and this one here is a 57P, and then we got a 56P, which here where I'm at, I don't get a lot of P's. I just really don't. I get more S's than anything. And of course, Denver's, everybody gets the Denver's 56. That's 57. I normally put these on the marks, but I didn't. Over here I did. So this is a 55D. That goes right here by the 56P and the 56D, and then this one's a 56D, so that's a 6-1. That's nice and dirty. And then you got a 46D, and then we got a 46P, and that's gonna be it. There's 5, 10, 11 wheat pennies. So I didn't get my average. Only got really 4 bicentennials. I'll look at them for errors later here, but average really wasn't that great of a box, so that 16P is nice. It's probably maybe a 15-cent coin in that shape. Nothing wrong, but you know, nothing wrong with that. I sure appreciate you coming in and spending time with me. I got another box to do right here behind me. We'll be getting into that here in a few minutes. So I'm gonna get this stuff set off to the side. Trying to get it mixed up. But I did end up with some BUs over here I didn't show. So I had a 76D. That's got some nice tone. That's really AU. Then you got the 60D, and again that's AU because you got a little bit of darkness on it, but I mean it's a very nice strike for a 60. Possibly could have some doubling. I see a little notching at the end of the 9 there. Thickness on the S there is one of the things you look for. Thickness on the R on the tail. On top of T, you want it looks like two boards laying on top of each other. You see this one's shorter than the one on top. Anyway, that's how we can tell you. Again, you want to look for that angle right here on both sides. Going the same way, it's like you slant it to the side. But that's going to be one. I keep on trying to move the corn on my screen. I'm done, forgive me. Okay, so as I've said in many other videos before, you want to look at your E there. You want to see how it went beyond there, and you can barely see it on top. But your bottom two parts of your E is where you see the most thickness. On your W's, you're looking at your point right here. See your point's doubled here. It's spread there. And then it's spread at the bottom, spread there, a little spread here. Though it's once you get used to looking for these certain things, you can see the little bump in the serif right there. It becomes easier, but see the thickness on the end. It's a little bit of a bump right up here where it's spread to out to the rim, up and out, is what the spread on this is. So you come down here. First thing you want to look at is your RTY. You want to see is one side is a Y thicker than the other side. Is the T look like it's got lumber stacked crooked on top? Is that R leg got a notch in it? Is it thick here? So this may or may not be a double die. The more I look at the Liberty, I don't think it is, but it's still a nice coin. That's AU. So then we got a 64D. Again, so if you're looking for double dies on the 64, you want to looking right here. If you're looking for double points right here, you're looking for double points right here. You're looking double point there. You're looking for a notch right there. Notch especially right here, and thickness in here, which it does look thick. A little bit of notch right there. The top of the one is usually not perfectly straight. It's usually got like just a little tilt like that, or back to the other way, or you see it struck over. So we go over to RTY, and you can see on the Y, see how it spreads out. It's struck to the right. It's overstruck. Is the way the double die is on this one. Same, you can see in the B. See where the cornered shits on the second strike. See the angle of the eye. That helps you know that you got a double die. You want to look for those markers. This E is not really presenting as much as the I and B is. The R is presenting, the T is not really presenting, but the Y is. So you just keep on looking, and it'll get easier. But there's a couple of double dies just right off the bat. That's a pretty nice 76D. Let's take a look at this. Now on 76D, you want to see a repunchment mark. You want to see a good strike. You don't want to see hits like that. This is what we call an AU coin. There's still a market for this. I take a really bad hit. That I won't say this one. Too many bad hits. It's an AU coin, but with that bad of hits, I'm not gonna sell it as AU because it's been hit too many times for me, for my taste. But these are double dies, so I'll go with my double dies, and we'll be going on. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate you hitting the thumbs up. And I'm going to be back with another buy, so I'll get that open up. We set up here in just a few minutes. I appreciate your time. Much love. Much success to you guys. Hope you find your dreams. Hope you find what you've been looking for. Be blessed. Thanks. Bye.